So, Alex, I'll just let you get started. What do you do? How do you work together? What was that like?
Yeah. So what I do right now, I'm managing partner at PSA10 Investment Group. So what we do is kind of split down the middle. So half we kind of run our own real estate private equity firm. So we're kind of generalists with our own investments. Right now, we're focused on land entitlement and development, mostly for single family and master plan communities, as well as buying up single family portfolios, multifamily, office, commercial, just about everything. And we also do partner with other larger private equity groups to kind of partner with them on the acquisitions and the buy side, to kind of modernize their deal flow, their pipeline, and really just bring deals in the door. And we usually get a cut of the promote and the GP for that as well, just because of the advancements and the proprietary methods and systems we've built to get deals in the door. We have a lot of private equity groups that seek us out to just make it rain and get deals in the door better than a broker could. And Rohan, you and me, we met back in 2020 or 2021 on Twitter. Um, and we started working on an AI, kind of image generation program, mainly based around being able to replicate, natural handwriting, like very specific to a person, given a very simple sample. And that was back when I was more on the software development side. So I have subcontracted stuff out before, and everything, but Rohan was absolutely fantastic to work with. And it was crazy that when I was researching, this one project and figuring out more about, the generation, computer vision, et cetera, I actually was reading a bunch of, published papers, stuff like that. And I came across one with a model that worked the best. And it was actually your research paper from high school. Um, and that was pretty crazy. That was really cool to come across. And so we successfully, worked through that project, and the client was very, very happy and satisfied. And it was really interesting how you already knew essentially all the pieces that we needed to put together. It was just the time it would take to do it, which was way faster than anybody expected. And it was really cool that we could bring something never before done to that level in, what was it, a couple of weeks?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, which was awesome. And then we also worked on that, what was it, the web scraper project, because in real estate we have to aggregate, and clean and optimize like so much data, especially when we're doing a lot of the outreach in-house, with our call center, with our emails, etc. And we built, a system to go ahead and get all this real estate data directly, from the source, and then kind of pass that through a system to, append all this other data, et cetera. And we got quite a bit of revenue, based on closing deals, from that alone, because now we were able to identify, with the system we built, like, hey, these are the most likely prospects to go after, and then we could focus our resources on ranking and then hitting those. And we acquired, several assets through that.
Makes sense. And hmm, you have probably worked with other developers as well. You've worked with other outsourced teams. What was working with us like? What was the communication like? What was the time zone difference thingy like? What
Mhm.
was that like working together?
So we don't really notice any time zone thing, like, or any kind of, mishaps or any of that, when we're working with you, because I mean you work on our time, which is really, really convenient, because I don't know anyone else who's going to stay up, at the hours that you guys do to communicate with us, which was awesome. I mean, we got added into the Slack channel, and it was just every day, updates, straightforward. Hey, here's what we need. Hey, how does this look? And there was just progress every single day, and which was amazing. And yeah, I have worked with other outsourced teams, and it's just like a black box. Like, you don't really know what they're doing. You send them something, they come back with something else. And then it turns out it wasn't even that developer you were talking to who was doing the work. They subbed it out to someone else who's cheaper, and they're just catching the spread. And really, I mean, it's the highest quality, I've ever come across, really, in, not just outsourced development, but any kind of service-based product. Even here, it's like, American, because we've used, American development companies as well, and it's just garbage. I mean, even for simple stuff like, let's say, SEO, you're not going to get results. Someone's there making $40-50 an hour to do absolutely nothing, and they just don't have the work ethic that you and your team have showed us.
Makes sense. Thank you so much for that. If there's anything that you would like to, well, add for anyone who's maybe looking to work with us, who's on the edge, maybe to yourself before we started working together 3 years ago, what would that be? What would you like to say?
At first I was like, okay, like I don't know, it's something I want to do, something I want to get into, because the divide between real estate and software, it's pretty broad. I mean, real estate's like an ancient industry, and it's very behind. Like some of the wealthiest dudes in real estate can barely use Excel, or send an email. They need help for all that. That's what assistants are for. But with my background and from knowing Rohan, he would come to me. I would just show him something, and he would come to me with ideas, and I would run it by the team, my partner, and we just decided to take the plunge, and it more than paid off. Like multiple six figures in revenue on, let's say, what do we spend? Like 5-10,000?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the ROI was just insane, for what you were able to do. And it was so simple. Like I didn't have to do really anything on my end, because you just have everything down to such a nice system and process. Like it doesn't feel like I'm taking a leap. It's just like I'm walking onto the escalator.
Oh, wow, oh, I'm writing that down. Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I think that is a beautiful note to end on. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Thanks. I'll see you. Awesome.
Yeah.
Add a cut.
Good.